world of League of Legends is full of mysterious, magical and unexplored places. But with progress, more and more empty spaces on the map of Runeterra get filled. One area, however, has been shrouded in mystery for centuries, and only a few ancient writings hint at what might be hidden in the eastern jungles of the Shuriman continent. In this video we learn what lies hidden in the greenery and how deeply rooted not only the trees and the soil are in the continent's history, but also the culture slumbering here. This is the history of Ixtal. The founding of Ixtal. Following the great westward migration of magically advanced humans from the far eastern continent, these people began to settle in Valoran, Shurima and the surrounding island chains. One of these settlements was established in the dense jungles of eastern Shurima. As they investigated and explored a new homeland, they were unaware that they had aroused the interest of a powerful ancient being. Skarner belonged to the Bracken race, powerful ancient beings who lived in the heart of the planet. He observed the humans closely and found their existence fascinating. One day, when a landslide threatened to bury the settlement, Skarner intervened and saved the humans. The settlers were grateful to the Bracken, and he became an integral part of the settlement. The humans shared their culture and knowledge of their history with him, and in return, he helped them build their settlement. Skarner used his earth magic to create the Ishaukan ecology and became a founding member of the Yuntal, the government of Ixtal. The combination of the Bracken's culture and the scientific ambitions of the Ixtali would lead the empire to true greatness. Ixtal and Shurima. As neighbors, the people of Ixtal and Shurima have always shared a strong bond. To this day, it is believed that the Great Sun Disk in Shurima's capital was built with the help of Ixtal's mages after the first structure in the Rimazet was destroyed. Later, the Ixtali would become one of the first people to join the Shuriman Empire. Skarner, however, wasn't convinced. He had always observed everything that was happening around Ixtal via vibrations in the earth, and grew concerned about the growing neighboring empire and its violent god warriors. And his concern was justified. Shortly thereafter, a rebellion against the Empire broke out in the southern Ikathia. In a desperate attempt to win the battle, Icathian mages unleashed the Void, which destroyed and corrupted their entire kingdom. The dark magic of the Void spread like a disease throughout Shurima and soon reached the southern borders of Ixtal. A powerful elemental mage named Nezuk had an idea how to push back the Void, if not eradicate it entirely. Over the course of months and under inhuman conditions, the monolith was constructed, a magical flying fortress made of living stone. Piloted and kept intact by powerful elemental mages and led by holy warriors, the city-sized structure floated towards Ikathia. The battle lasted for weeks. The amount of magic unleashed to push back the Void was enough to wipe entire continents off the map. The dark magic of the Void continually damaged the monolith, and parts of the weapon turned into unusable malphite, which in Ixtali meant bad stone. The extent of the damage became so great that the mages were no longer able to repair it in time. In a last desperate act, Nezuk decided to pilot the monolith himself into the Void Rift. While a large part of the structure disappeared into the endless nothingness beyond the opening, individual parts remained as ruins. Only Nezuk survived the maneuver and attempted to flee the monstrosities of the Void. A world of its own. Ixtal was shaken by the events in Ikathia, but the future of the world around them was not about to change for the better. When the Shuriman Empire fell, Ixtal lost its most powerful ally and was thus left to itself, which posed no real problem for the advanced and magically talented people. But other problems arose beyond its borders. The remaining guard warriors were without leadership, and some of them began to fight among themselves. Some even went mad and gave in to dark magic to impose their rule on the world. Ixtal was largely spared of these conflicts of the so-called Darkin and kept to itself. But even after the end of the Darkin Wars, Runeterra was far from safe. The fall of the magical city of Helya on the Blessed Isles ensured that magical artifacts and the knowledge of the world runes fall into the wrong hands. Wars of cataclysmic proportions raged throughout Valoran, while mages consumed by their desire for power fought each other. Considering Runeterra's development, Skarner decided to convince the government of Ixtal to isolate themselves from the rest of the world. The Yuntal agreed and used their magic to make the already dense jungle around them even more impenetrable. From then on, the Ixtali people hid behind magic and lies, leaving the rest of the world consumed by their greed for power outside their jungle. Skarner was pleased that the Ixtali had finally listened to his advice, but his trust was still shaken by their former alliance with Shurima. Skarner's concern for the Ixtali grew so great that he decided they could not ensure their own safety. He built a chamber beneath Ishao Khan where he could more accurately sense the earth vibrations to protect his people. Obsessed with defending Ixtal, he left his chambers less and less frequently, until his existence was only known to the Yuntal. The rest of the Ixtali saw Skarner as nothing more than a creature of legends and myth. Beyond the jungle. For centuries, Ixtal remained isolated. Cut off from the outside world, they believed that everything outside their jungle was destroyed by the corruption of the Void or the Rune Wars. Few individuals were able to effectively penetrate the greenery, and even fewer were able to survive and escape. But contrary to Ixtal's expectations, the world around them kept turning, and progress took hold in newly founded communities and cities. Noxus, for example, have a keen interest in claiming the fertile and magical lands of the Shuriman jungle for itself, even though its expeditions have so far been marked by failure. Sailors, raiders and pirates from Bilgewater and the nearby Serpent Isles also frequently anchor off the shores of Ixtal in search of gold, jewels and adventure, only to ultimately meet their end. The Piltover's Explorers Guild, on the other hand, is far more technologically advanced and has been able to penetrate much deeper in its search for treasures and artifacts, even though most expeditions sooner or later disappear in the depth of the jungle. The history of Ixtal is as mysterious and uncertain as the depth of the jungle surrounding Ishao Khan. Due to the people's self-isolation since the Rune Wars, almost all knowledge about this people has been lost, and only the Ixtali themselves know of their past. Once one of the greatest civilizations and cultures in the world, the magical community now face the challenge of accepting that progress has taken place outside their borders, which could potentially pose a new threat to them as the first trees are already falling. What do you think about Ixtal's story, and what do you think the people should do now to ensure a secure and lasting future? Be sure to let me know in the comments, and please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. On my channel you will find more videos about the oldest stories in League of Legends and an overview of the most important events in Runeterra. If you don't want to miss anything, hit subscribe and ring the bell. Thank you for your attention and interest in the world of League of Legends, and maybe I'll see you in the next video.